So how to go about starting this? And what I mean by starting this, I'm talking more about my channel and how do I start that? How do I actually make it a thing, so to speak? And if I'm being honest, well, let's just get back to the start. The start is there's a buddy of mine at work who introduced me to a thing called the tactical games. The tactical games is, for the uninitiated, basically CrossFit mixed with shooting sports. So you'll do physical activities and you'll have to shoot. And your score is calculated by the time it takes you to do the actual event, then adding penalties for misses, dropped weapons, dropped stuff. Like it goes that way. And so it'd be, I think, one hell of an interesting and fun thing to do. It's kind of costly, but the main thing that I'm worried about with regards to the tactical games is actually getting prepared for it, being able to do the work, so to speak, to compete or at least finish the thing. I'm 43 years old now, kind of broken in some regards, got some things that are a little bit that are hamstringing me physically. And I think it'd be kind of a fun thing to do to be able to complete and compete in something along those lines and see how I stack up against other people. Um, there's no rolling of dice, so it's not going to be frustrating in that regard. I won't be able to get upset with anybody but myself, even if it's a team event, because in the end, I'm competing against myself, even if I am competing against other people. And so I figure the best way that I can start this channel up anew is to go over what I'm doing to prepare, to do it, week by week, day by day, whatever, however I decide I want to go about doing it, to show the progression of me and how I get better and the techniques that I use, and then seeing if those techniques and those trainings that I did during the course of the time it takes me to prep for it actually pay off and actually work. Uh, so how am I going to go about doing this? Well, I'm going to lift. Obviously, you got to lift if you're going to do CrossFit type sports. I'm going to work on my agility, work on my running, the basic bare bones necessities for physical fitness. And I'm going to work on my shooting. I got to get better at shooting. I know where my weaknesses, my big weakness is now, which is the pistol. I'm not the greatest with a pistol. I'm not awful, but I'm not the greatest. So I'll have to work on that and really try to figure out where I'm weak, what I'm doing wrong, those kinds of things. It'll require me being humble and taking a look at myself in a way that I may not necessarily appreciate or like. Uh, and how I'm going to go about doing that, how I'm going to go building the reps, so to speak. I'm going to integrate airsoft into it. How I'm going to do that? Well, play games, obviously. That's going to help work with the physical aspect of things, getting me used to moving around and, you know, not being a lazy sloth. But it's also going to help me work on those fundamentals that I'm probably weak in right now, given the fact that I don't get to shoot as much as I would like to shoot. I'm not, 24 again, recently out of the Marine Corps, dumping about 1,000 rounds a weekend in 45 and 223 combined. So I got to get to that point. And how I get to that point is reteaching myself all of the basic mechanics that I may have forgotten. Those things that used to be instilled strongly within me, rebuilding those. So that's going to be the journey. Getting fitter and stronger, cutting back on some of the fat that I have that I've managed to acquire over the course of the last couple of years, removing the sloth, as it were, and bringing back those skills and drills that I knew when I was younger. So that's what I'm going to do to start this thing off. That's what I'm going to do to make this channel a thing and bring back, for lack of a better term, the Rambling Devil. Though I'm going to change the title of the channel. It's going to be, well, right now, the What Do I Know podcast or the What Do I Know vidcast or whatever you want to call it. It's basically just this is going to be the thing that I use to start it off, but it's also going to be me talking about things that I know or may not know that I think I know. And then that'll give the audience a chance to interact with me directly. Probably not the smartest thing to be doing, putting out my face and likeness on the web, given the age of AI and the way that there are certain individuals who will steal anything that is out there. But the worst that can happen is my identity is stolen and my life is absolutely ruined. Kind of hard to do, given the fact that there's really nothing to steal. But it is what it is, and it's going to be what it's going to be. But I can't just sit here and be silent anymore. I can't sit here and not do stuff. I was hoping to use this year, i.e., when I was 42, to start building something new. Well, I'm going to have to start doing that now at 43. And there's nothing wrong with getting started at 43. There's nothing wrong with getting started at 83. What matters is getting started. So that's how I'm going to start it off. Other things you can expect from this channel as I move forward. I want to get back into sort of doing reviews and stuff like that. I'm thinking gear reviews, some. Also thinking miniature reviews. I have a video game. Not video game. That's my son. My son wants to make video games. I want to create a miniature war game, and there's one I've been working on for a while now. Some of the mechanics still have to get ironed out, but suffice to say, it's a work in progress. There's a whole universe backing it up, so to speak. Of course, unfortunately, it's all locked inside the head. It's not out on paper as it should be. So I'm going to work on that over the course of the next year. I want to do book reviews, movie reviews, that kind of thing. I just want to make this a smorgasbord of all sorts of different things. There may not be things here that's for everybody. That's fine. This channel really isn't meant for everybody. It's kind of meant for me, kind of meant for my kids to have something to look back on when I'm long dead and gone, to be able to say, okay, that was my dad and that's what he thought. So if you like that, sweet. If you don't, sweet, whatever. Do your own thing. I'm going to do mine. I'm going to start out, I'm just going to work on getting myself healthier, fitter, and more capable of firearms and the martial arts, as it were. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride. I'll catch you on the flip side.